JJIC staff initially pursued these individuals by foot and by car until we lost sight of the youth at St. Bernard and Milton Street. The escapees were confirmed as Nelson Banks, age 14, who was actually apprehended today in the 8300 block of Strolitz Street, thanks to the work of NOPD and local state and federal partners. Donovan Davis, age 17, Robert Brown, age 17, Quentin Washington, age 15. NOPD has launched a search with local, state, and federal partners to apprehend these escapees. These youth pose an imminent threat to public safety as they are here for violent felony offenses. Anyone with information regarding their whereabouts should contact NOPD's 3rd District at 504-658-6030 or Crime Stoppers of Greater New Orleans at 504-822-1111, where you can make an anonymous call. So how did this happen? There was a breach, as I said, of a protocol that involved human error, for which we take full responsibility for. And as a result, we're doubling down on our efforts to ensure that this does not happen again. The incident is also a consequence of staff shortages, which have also been exacerbated by COVID. That causes additional strain on our resources, but recruitment is always an ongoing task for. So at this time, this is all the facts of the matter that we have, and we'll open it up for any questions.
Any questions? Starting with WDSU, and we'll just go from left to right.
When you say human error, can you expound on that at all? Is that somebody like not closing the door or leaving the door open? I think when people hear that, there's a distrust in the system because they feel like that's just a lot of talk and not a lot of answers. If that's
Okay, the matter is still under investigation in terms of the details of that. We are looking at the protocols and believe that we need to revisit protocols with all staff.
We heard that one of your staffers may have been overwhelmed. Is that accurate? Did that happen last night?
Well, again, we have short staffing shortages, and we're always trying to be very delicate in terms of how we balance staff ratios, male and female staff, etc.
Well, I mean, kind of like physically confronted while these escapees were escaping.
That was a part of it, but no one was hurt, no one was injured.
You said that that Nelson, 14-year-old Banks was caught. Can you tell us again where that happened and was he committing a crime at the time, or how was he caught?
All we have right now from NOPD, and this is fresh out of NOPD shop, is that he was apprehended in the 8300 block of Strolitz.
There was a SWAT roll on Strolitz this afternoon. Do you know if that apprehension has anything to do with the SWAT roll?
I can't speak to that. I can only speak to the information that was relayed to us by NOPD.
Okay. And WWL TV has reported that a carjacking nearby here was related to this escape. Can you comment on that?
At this moment, we do know that there was a relationship, and we do have reason to believe that some of the youth who escaped were connected to that incident.
Do any of these individuals have a connection? Were they being housed in the same area, or how did these four were they able to be together at the time to get out to escape?
There was one youth accessed a swipe card and allowed the other youth out of their cells, and that was a situation that we're looking at in terms of access and swipe cards inside the building, and we are going to take some measures to maybe change that system.
Really quickly, WWO, did you have a question?
Okay, just to follow up on that. So, one kid gets a swipe card, releases another from a cell. What about the other two?
He released the other two.
He released them as
Yes.
well. And with 8 to 10 of your personnel chasing, how did they lose them? Did the youth split up? They simply outran?
It's a combination of both, splitting up and just, outrunning the staff, and just not having the capacity and resources for staff to scatter in that same way. But we did keep sight of them as far as we could until NOPD got involved.
And prior to this escape, what's the most recent call that the NOPD had to come out here? What was that for?
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Heard there was NOPD had come out here fairly recently on some other matter.
On Sunday evening, yes. Okay, there was a disturbance, and we had a youth that again tried to attempt an escape, but that situation was contained, and they did not succeed.
Have there been
Any
any,
other questions?
have
Yeah,
there
I
been
think
any,
then WDSU and then WGNO.
have there been any previous escapes that involved the use of one of these swipe cards?
No.
WDSU.
Were any of these suspects, I know it's an NOPD question, but I know they keep you looped in, were any of them involved in a carjacking chase last night that ended on St. Claude where a car was crashed? Were any of them involved in that by any chance?
I cannot confirm that. That would be a question for NOPD.
WGNO and then back to Fox 8.
This is a big problem for you guys. So moving forward, what steps are you really going to take to make sure? What have you done differently today to ensure that other inmates don't escape? What are you doing right now?
Well, today we have some heightened security alerts in position. We slowed down some of the movement inside the building. We're reevaluating our lock and swipe system. And as we said in the beginning, that recruitment is always an ongoing matter. Around the country, there are real challenges with recruitment for correctional agencies. We're not exempt from that challenge. So before this incident, we were already short-staffed. With COVID and staff being out, that just exacerbated the challenge. So we encourage people to, pursue application here if they would like to really make a contribution and work with, some of our city's most vulnerable youth. So we encourage and use this as an opportunity for recruitment, and also to just welcome the community to support us in our endeavors in getting more staff at this facility.
Fox 8.
Dr.
Real quick,
Webster, you
aside-
said,
Wait. Fox 8 and then back to you.
Dr. Webster, you said that they were in here for some violent felonies. Can you expand on that a little bit? Are we talking about armed robbery, murder? What are just
We cannot go into details given the sensitivity of their age and classification as juveniles, but we can say what we said, that they're here for violent crimes.
WWL and then WGNO.
Aside from the 4 escapees, how many other juveniles are detained here?
Currently, our pop count is 37,
That's
not including them.
WGNO, did you have a question?
Just to be clear, one is caught, 3 you're still looking for 3?
Yes.
And then
Last question, WDSU.
the swipe cards, not to harp on this, but the swipe cards that they had, did they essentially use that? I mean, if they used it, did they use it to get out of the building? Was it used several times to basically make a run for it at different sections of the facility?
Correct.
All right, no further questions. Thank you all.
I was going to ask, how many of these can be housed here? I know 37 are currently in the facility. What is the,
It's
maximum?
76, yes.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Oh, and let's make sure we're on the clock.
Like you said, the capacity is 76?
Yes.
Updates? Yeah, thank you.
And let's just make sure.
So how short are you with staff? How many staff members are you short?
What was that?
How many